They are the four sacred guardians of the digital world: the Azure Dragon of the East, Jinglongmon, the Vermilion Bird of the South, Zuxiaomon, the White Tiger of the West, Baihumon, and the Black Tortoise of the North, Shenwumon. These beings are said to maintain the balance of power between North, South, East and West of the digital world. This is the video about the four holy beast Digimon and the rich history and mythology they are based on. These legendary beings have reigned since the age of myth and have passed into legend. Each of them possesses immense power and guards one of the four cardinal directions of the compass. Shenwumon guards the north and lives in the Forest of the Gods. Zuxiaomon guards the south and resides in the Boot Volcano. Jinglongmon guards the east, living in the Assembler Tower. Baihumon guards the west and reigns over the Folder Continent and File Island. They are all led by Huanglongmon, who represents the center in which he is enshrined and from which he supervises the others. The four holy beasts all have 4 shining eyes and 12 digicores instead of the usual one, which float outside their bodies. Each holy beast has 3 of the 12 Deva Digimon as their servants. The Deva are a group of 12 Digimon all at the perfect level, based on the 12 heavenly generals, and they each represent an animal of the Chinese zodiac. Each Deva shares the attribute of the holy beast that they serve. The 4 holy beasts spend most of their time observing events from afar. They'll send their Devas first if things start to look bad, and will only intervene if the Devas can't handle the problem. If the 4 holy beasts can't settle the issue, Huanglongmon will step in, but it's hard to imagine things getting so bad that Huanglongmon would ever need to intervene. The 4 holy beasts are based on the 4 symbols, 4 mythological creatures appearing among the Chinese constellations along the ecliptic, viewed as the guardians of the 4 cardinal directions. As a major source of inspiration for the 4 holy beast Digimon, the 4 symbols will be discussed in detail later in the video. Jinglongmon is an ultimate level Digimon based on the Azure Dragon, who controls the element of wood. As one of the 4 holy beasts that protect the digital world, he protects the east and unleashes powerful lightning strikes. Like the other 4 holy beasts, Jinglongmon is a legendary existence, and his strength is said to rival that of a god. Jinglongmon's Deva subordinates are Andiramon, Mihiramon and Majiramon, and each of them share Jinglongmon's data attribute. Andiramon represents the rabbit, Mihiramon represents the tiger, and Majiramon represents the dragon. Andiramon has a gentle spirit, likes small things, and attends to them with profound care. Mihiramon is the biggest ruffian among the Deva, though he is also a brilliant tactician who specializes in reading the terrain. Majiramon is extremely calculating and hates to even lift a finger if it won't benefit himself. The Azure Dragon is also a part of the Dragon Kings of the 4 Seas. Worshipped by many for good weather, bountiful harvest all year round, the 4 Dragon Kings are considered the rulers of weather and water. Each Dragon King governs a part of the Sea of China. The 4 Dragon Kings are the Azure Dragon, the Dragon God of the East and the essence of spring, the Red Dragon, the Dragon God of the South and the essence of summer, the White Dragon, the Dragon God of the West and the essence of autumn, and the Black Dragon, the Dragon God of the North and the essence of winter. Like in the myths, in the Digimon universe, Jinglongmon is also a member of the 4 great dragons that are based on the Dragon Kings. This group consists of Kolidramon, Gadramon, Megidramon and Jinglongmon, being the most deified being among them all. However, even though Jinglongmon is a godlike being, he doesn't easily cooperate with humans or the weak. Unless there is a great deal at stake, he will not become an ally. Jinglongmon belongs to the Dragon's Roar, Virus Busters and Wind Guardians fields. His special attack is the Wrath of a God called Sourai, translated as Blue Thunder, which drops violent thunder from the sky. Other attacks include Wind of Threads, Flower of Electricity, and Dance of Raijin. Raijin, translated as Thunder God, is a god of lightning, thunder and storms in Japanese mythology and the Shinto religion. He is typically depicted with fierce and aggressive facial expressions. Raijin is often appearing alongside his brother Fujin, the god of the wind. While Raijin is depicted with a very fearsome appearance, he is considered a trickster who can bring both good in the form of rain and destructive storms as well. Raijin is the son of creator gods Izanami and Izanagi, but he was born after his mother died and as such is a being of death himself. Zuxiaomon, as one of the 4 holy beasts, protects the south and controls scorching flames. He has reigned since the age of myths, and his existence has become legendary, making him extremely difficult to find. Also, he is difficult to defeat with the power of an average ultimate form, and his strength is at the highest peak among Digimon, making him truly a god. Zuxiaomon has an especially violent temper among the 4 holy beast Digimon, to the point where he burns down anyone who approaches him senselessly. Zuxiaomon has the virus attribute and belongs to the Wind Guardians and Nightmare Soldiers fields. Zuziamon's Deva subordinates are Sandiramon, Indaramon, and Pajiramon, and each of them share Zuziamon's virus attribute. Sandiramon represents the snake, is the most cunning and cruel among the Deva, and likes to choke the life out of his enemies. Indaramon represents the horse, has an intolerably arrogant personality, likes to brag and ridicules those who work hard. Pajiramon represents the sheep and rules the world of dreams, has a cruel personality and is known as the Dark Deva. Zuziamon's special attack is Kowen, a vortex of flame comparable to prominence that erupts from the sun in a huge explosion. Other attacks include Phoenix Fire, Sonic Zephyr, and Tessellation Blast. Zuziamon is based on the vermilion bird, one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations. It represents the fire element, the direction south, and the summer season. It is described as a red bird that resembles a pheasant, with a 5-colored plumage perpetually covered in flames. The vermilion bird is elegant and noble in both appearance and behavior, with feathers in many different hues of vermilion. Shen Wumon protects the north and uses versatile water techniques. Like the other 4 Holy Beast Digimon, he is a legendary being, and his strength is said to rival that of gods. Shen Wumon is the oldest of the 4 Holy Beast Digimon and has a gentle personality. He has a vaccine attribute and belongs to the Nature Spirits, Jungle Troopers, Deep Savers, and Wind Guardians fields. Shen Wumon's Deva subordinates are Vikaralamon, Kumbiramon, and Vajramon, and each of them share Shen Wumon's vaccine attribute. Vikaralamon represents the pig and is an observer type that sleeps with his eyes open. Kumbiramon represents the rat, has great wisdom and can see ahead. Vajramon represents the ox, is the seeker of truth, values honor and loathes cowardice. Shen Wumon's special attack is Mist Illusion, which creates a dark fog around the enemy, causing them to experience an illusion that destroys their spirit. Other attacks include Double Dragon Wave and Black Hail, in which he summons huge blocks of black crystals that rain on the enemies. Shen Wumon is based on the Black Tortoise, one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations, representing the north and the winter season, sometimes referred to as the mystical warrior of the north. It is usually depicted as a turtle intertwined together with a snake. In ancient China, the tortoise and the serpent were thought to be spiritual creatures symbolizing longevity, which is reflected in Shen Wumon being the oldest of the 4 holy beasts. Baihumon protects the west and has the element of metal. He has reigned since the Age of Myths, and like the other 4 Holy Beast Digimon is a legendary being, and his strength is said to rival that of the gods. Even though he is the youngest of the 4 Holy Beast Digimon, he has the highest power among the 4. It is said that his immortality and immense power are generated from 12 Digicores. Baihumon is a neutral being, and like Qinglongmon, he is not exactly an ally. Baihumon has the Data attribute and belongs to the Nature Spirits and Metal Empire fields. Baihumon's Deva subordinates are Makuramon, Sinduramon, and Katuramon, and each of them share Baihumon's Data attribute. Makuramon represents the monkey, who shows no emotions on his face, but expresses himself with body poses. Sinduramon represents the rooster, likes to gossip and quarrel, but has the hardest armor among the Deva. Katuramon represents the dog, has a strong sense of justice, and often serves as a mediator when his comrades are fighting. Baihumon's special attack is Hongo, in which he releases a wave from his mouth that turns the enemy into metal. Those affected by this technique remain motionless and cannot die until their bodies rust and decay. Another attack is Iron Claws. Baihumon is based on the White Tiger, one of the 4 symbols of the Chinese constellations. He is also known as the White Tiger of the West, has the element of metal, and represents the West in terms of directions and the autumn season. Huanglongmon is an Emperor Digimon who rules over the 4 holy beasts that protect the digital world and is enshrined in the center and rules over the world. He was sealed in the deepest and darkest part of the earth when Luchamon, a fallen angel Digimon, descended to the digital world in the distant past. As a result, a struggle for supremacy occurred among the 4 holy beasts who lost control, but the balance is now maintained. Huanglongmon's existence is both good and evil, and he is called the Taiji of Light and Darkness. He has 8 eyes and 12 digicores outside his body. His huge body is covered with scales of Huanglong ore, a special ore that boasts absolute hardness, making it impossible to even scratch him. Huanglong ore is the basis of Chrome Digizoid, a virtual ore that boasts absolute hardness. In reality, it is impossible to measure the hardness of Huanglong ore because it can only be scratched by Huanglong ore and there is no way to compare it with other ores or metals. Although it has great hardness, it is also extremely heavy, making it unsuitable for use in weapons and armor. It is also extremely rare and can only be found deep underground. It is said that it takes many years, far beyond the age of myth, to merge Huanglong ore with living things, and currently the only Digimon that has achieved this is Huanglongmon. Chrome Digizoid eliminates these drawbacks and can be said to be an excellent rare metal. While Huanglongmon doesn't have an attribute, he belongs to the Virus Busters, Nature Spirits, Nightmare Soldiers, Metal Empire and Wind Guardians fields. His special attacks are Taikyuku, which forever disintegrates everything in the digital world into the polarities of light and darkness until it becomes nothing, and Okai, which causes a typhoon of huge mud flow on the scale of a natural disaster. Huanglongmon is based on the Yellow Dragon, a zoomorphic incarnation of the Yellow Emperor at the center of the universe in Chinese religion and mythology. Huanglongmon Ruin Mode is a form that went out of control after being injected with evil energy. After losing his good and light, he became inclined towards evil and darkness and goes on a rampage to destroy the world. According to the records, the four holy beasts joined forces and succeeded in suppressing Huanglongmon Ruin Mode. His special attacks are Mukyoku, which causes everything in the digital world to be swallowed up by darkness devoid of light, and Kaimetsu, which stirs up black flames in a tornado on the scale of a natural disaster. Another attack is Raiko or Thunder. The four holy beasts played a major role in several Digimon anime seasons. In Digimon Adventure, a single Digi-Egg flew into the human world from the digital world and appeared before Hikari and Taichi. After hatching into Batamon, Hikari made him evolve all the way to Greymon. This is why Homeostasis scanned her data along with the other 7 children who witnessed the fight between Greymon and Parrotmon. This was the premise of children forming bonds with Digimon and making them evolve. After that, Homeostasis called for 5 children from the human world to help with the Apocalypse crisis. Unfortunately, at that time there weren't enough children and Digimon partners to properly seal Apocalypse. 4 of the 5 chosen children's Digimon evolved into the 4 holy beasts and were given the role of protecting the digital world. Jinglomon evolved from Triceramon, Zuxiaomon evolved from Hippogriffomon, Shenwumon evolved from Orochimon, and Baihumon evolved from Loaderleomon, who evolved from Bearmon. After they evolved, the battle with the Dark Masters continued for centuries. The events concerning Apocalypse and the 4 holy beasts were recorded by the Digimon who lived at that time for future generations, and this record is known as the Digimon Book of Revelations. The Dark Masters sealed the 4 holy beasts one by one. Jinglongmon was the first one to be sealed by the hands of Piemon. The Dark Masters could then start the program created by Nanomon to build the Spiral Mountain according to the Book of Revelations. Even after the Dark Masters were defeated, the 4 holy beasts remained sealed. The reason is that the power of the digital world was used to bring itself back to its original state. Between the events of the original adventure and 02, the chosen children were called back to the digital world and borrowed the power of their crests to break the seal. Jinglongmon was released with the crests of hope and light. Since the children gave the power of their crests to the 4 holy beasts, they needed their help in evolving to the perfect level. Jinglongmon gave the children his Digi-Cores to help them evolve. When the Towers of Darkness began to rise in the digital world and their power prevented Digimon from evolving, in the hopes of returning harmony, the Holy Beasts decided to use the power of a lost ancient evolution. This set the premise for Armor Evolution in 02. In Digimon Tamers, the fast increase of computer network from the real world seeped into the digital world, causing the Digimon to rapidly evolve. The Holy Beasts feared that this would awaken the D-Reaper, a program whose purpose was to revert the world to nothingness in case it exceeds its maximum parameters. However, they disagreed on the strategy how to deal with this issue. Zuxiaomon believed that they should evolve Digimon to be strong and fight back, while Jinglongmon believed that Digimon growth was why the D-Reaper was created in the first place. Jinglongmon transformed the evolution catalyst into a form of a Digimon, Kulomon, and sent him to the human world. With the power of evolution gone from the digital world, Zuxiaomon sent his Deva to the human world to defeat humans. In the end, Kulomon released his power so the Digimon could evolve, and the Holy Beasts led the army of those Digimon into a big battle against the Reaper. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the 4 Holy Beasts Digimon are based on the 4 symbols from Asian mythology. The 4 symbols are deeply rooted in the history of the Japanese city of Kyoto. Kyoto, which was the capital of Japan for more than 1,000 years, from the 8th until the 19th century, has been protected by these four symbols since the ancient times. The city was chosen for the capital because of its strategic position and geographic terrain in accordance with traditional Chinese Feng Shui. In Feng Shui, there is a notion that there are certain favorable landscapes and geographic features to build a city. An ideal location would have mountains in the north, rivers in the east, lakes or swamps in the south, and a main road in the west. Kyoto had all of this. It was surrounded by the Funa-Okayama mountain in the north, Kamogawa River in the east, Oguraike Lake in the south, and the Sun-Indo Road in the west. The city's urban plan was built as a rectangular enclosure with a grid pattern of streets that ran from north to south and from east to west. The modern-day Kyoto still retains this street grid. In Digimon Adventure 02, Sora's father explained to Miyako why the four holy beasts appeared in Kyoto. Kyoto is protected in the north by the black tortoise, in the south by the vermilion bird, in the east by the azure dragon, and in the west by the white tiger. The center of the city is protected by the golden kirin. In Kyoto, there are temples dedicated to each of these guardian spirits. The azure dragon represents wood, the vermilion bird represents fire, the white tiger represents metal, and the black tortoise represents water. The fifth principle is earth, represented by the yellow dragon, completing the four symbols. The word for yellow in Chinese is Huang, reflected in Huanglongmon's name. The yellow dragon is the zoomorphic incarnation of the yellow emperor in Chinese religion and mythology. This deity is in the center of the cosmos and represents the element of earth, as well as the changing of the seasons. The yellow emperor was conceived by Fubao, the ancestress to the Han people who formed the majority of the population of China. She became pregnant after seeing a yellow ray of light turning around the northern dipper, which is in Chinese theology the principal symbol of God. The yellow dragon appears in Japanese mythology as a kirin. It is usually depicted as a dragon shaped like a deer with a unicorn-like backwards curving horn. Which one of the four holy beasts is your favorite? Tell me in the comments below. If you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon or buy me coffee. The links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more Digimon videos. P.S. Make sure to follow my community page on YouTube, as I also post updates about upcoming videos there.